So, how did this Desti bride plan her destination wedding? That's what we're talking about today. Let's get into it. Hey, Destis and bride friends. Welcome back to the Desti Guide to Destination Weddings. I am your hostess, Mrs. Omi Allen, and you are watching Desti TV. So this is the place to be if you are a bride, groom, guest, or professional looking to figure out what it takes to plan a destination wedding. What works, what doesn't, we talk about it all right here. This is the first official episode of season 2, and I am delivering on my promise. From now on, interviews are in video. You're gonna get to see us and all the great brides and professionals that you've listened to. You can now see here on Desti TV. You can still listen to them on the podcast, but as of right now, you've got video interviews, you got video tips, so it's you and me planning that destination wedding, and I know you're excited. I'm excited. You gotta be excited. What else is there to be but excited? Okay, so I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna bring it down a bit. Okay, no, I'm not. But I'm gonna say that I'm gonna calm down and we're gonna get this together. Okay. I need to calm my ass down. For real. Whew. Okay. Woo. Okay, so I'm going to calm down a little bit and bring it together because today we're going to talk about how this Desti bride right here, that's Tressa. We're going to talk to Tressa to figure out how she planned her destination wedding in Cancun, Mexico. And I'm so excited. It's special, but I'm not going to say why it's special. They're all special. I don't know if you guys know at this point, but all of you are special. Destis are special. We're just special together. So for a couple of minutes, we get to be special. Every single week. You and me, Desti TV. It's awesome. Where was I? Okay. So Tressa was married at the Moon Palace Resort and Spa in Cancun, Mexico. She and her Desti groom Jonathan tied the knot with 36 guests and their at the time 2-year-old daughter Jordan. And they had an eventful journey from planning and traveling all the way through their wedding weekend. And today we go through it all. I can't wait to share this with you. So if you have any questions, as usual, drop them in the comments below. And we're doing this every single week. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you subscribe and ding that bell so that you are notified and you don't miss not a one episode. Do it now so you don't forget. But before we dig in, I need to let you know that this episode is sponsored by DESTILAND. What is DESTILAND? I'm so glad that you asked. DESTILAND is the place to be if you want to plan a destination wedding and have the time of your life planning the best days of your life. DESTILAND is our Desti headquarters, and it is filled with the best tips, tricks, advice, and interviews, all designed to help you plan that destination wedding of yours. Visit DESTILAND for instant access to weekly destination wedding planning tips, tutorials, news, and the Desti Digest. So, what is the Desti Digest? You've got a lot of questions, but I've got all the answers for you. So, the Desti Digest is where I go scour the internet and I look and I call my people and I call my pros and I go, hey, what's going on new in the destination wedding world? What could my Destis be missing? And they tell me, and I package it all up all nice and pretty, and I shoot it to you in a beautiful email to let you know what you could be missing, what you should know about, what's happening, what's coming up soon, and you stay informed in the destination wedding world. So if you're interested in all of that's at DESTILAND. And effective today, Shop Desti is back. So head on over, cop your tees, let the world know that you are planning your destination wedding and looking damn good doing it. And a little tip, if you join Desti Nation, you get special discounts and gifts just for you. So yes, DESTILAND loves you, and you love DESTILAND, so make sure that you check it out. That's www.desti.land. The link is in the description below. And as usual, all details and links about Tressa's wedding are waiting for you. Guess where? That's right. They're in DESTILAND too. So any of her photos, we've got tons of photos. She shared them. They're beautiful. She also gives so many details about her budget, about her Desti Pros that she used. She used Etsy vendors. All of that is packaged up all pretty in the new DESTILAND. So that's my PSA. I know you want to get to this interview with Tressa, so let's get to it. I know that you're going to enjoy it. Here is my interview with Desti Tressa. So yes, hi Trey, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. I'm excited to be here.
So you guys, Trey is like an OG bride friend. The very first, you're actually my very first Desti who has listened to the show and read the blog before I've actually reached out to have you on the show. So you know me, and we kind of go way back, but we're officially meeting today. So how's it going?
Good. It's going good. I'm having wedding withdrawals.
Are you?
Yes. Like, if I could go back and do it all again, I would in a heartbeat. Like, yes.
What was your favorite part about it?
Favorite part?
Like, what didn't I love? What was it?
Right. It's just like I loved everything. Well, of course, like the planning was stressful, but like once we actually, so I'm gonna take that back. Everything was stressful. Even when we got there, I was still stressed out. Like even during the wedding.
Okay, wait. But don't even unpack that yet. Hold on. Okay. Gotta keep that though. But, okay, so tell everyone where you got married.
I got married at Moon Palace, Golf and Spa Resort in Cancun, Mexico, on September 2nd.
Okay, and your husband's name is Jonathan.
Yes.
How did you guys meet?
We met 11 years ago at a high school homecoming. He went to school with my then best friend, and I went to her homecoming with her, and that's how we met. And we just spoke that day, but then after that, we like became Facebook friends, and it took off from there.
So you were like high school sweethearts.
Kinda, yeah. Like we met, I think, junior year of high school, but we didn't start officially dating until my freshman year of college.
Okay, and are you from Michigan? I knew you
Yes,
lived there.
we're both from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised.
How far is that from Flint? I have a homegirl that's from Flint.
I don't want to lie because I don't even know if I've ever been to Flint, but I
don't know.
know it's at least an hour.
Okay.
Maybe two, because I don't know if it's past Saginaw, Michigan, or like before it, but it's 1 to 2 hours.
Let me see. Hold on. See how long it'll take me to figure this out. So you're from Michigan, and you met your boo. Okay, real quick. I'm funny. Sorry guys. I just have to know. So Detroit
to
Flint directions. Okay, first of all, you are 4 hours away from me in Pittsburgh, so I know that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Pittsburgh was further.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a trip to DC. We drive that trip all the time. Yeah, you're like an hour and 15 minutes away from each other.
I went to school in DC.
Oh, see? That's home. That's my family. My whole family is from DC.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in DC.
Okay, so back to your book. Yeah, so we figured that out. Mystery was important apparently, so I had to check it out. So engagement story.
So we were surprised by our daughter in 2015, and he actually proposed at our baby shower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a shock to everybody. I think the only person he told was my dad.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, and my dad didn't tell anybody, not even my mom.
Your mom. So she was like, you ain't even tell me.
Yeah, I think she's still pissed about it to this day. But
you're supposed to ask me too.
Yeah, so Yeah, he proposed at our baby shower, and that was in August of 2015. So we got married 2 years and 1 month later.
Okay. And how?
Actually, yeah, 2 years and 1 month to the date, because he proposed on August 2nd. Yeah, and we got
Oh
married.
yeah, September 2nd.
Yep.
Was that on purpose?
No, I've always known, and I don't know why it's so weird. I've always wanted to get married on Labor Day weekend.
Hmm.
Why? I don't know. I think it's because I don't like to be hot. I like the summertime, but I don't like to be hot. And I
Yes.
know if I got married in the middle of summer, it might be blazing hot, and I just didn't want that to happen.
Yes, girl.
Destination or no destination, even if we got married in Michigan.
Right.
So, okay, September, it kind of starts to cool down.
Never
It'll be
thought
a
about
long
that.
weekend. People don't have to work on Monday. So I wanted to have a wedding weekend. Even if we got married at home, I wanted to have
A
events like the whole.
full weekend. So you knew you were going to take that weekend from the jump.
Exactly. Yep. And it just turned into destination. So it worked out because people didn't have to go to work the Monday after the wedding. So yeah, it worked out.
So we chatted a little bit before, and you told me how much you've always loved weddings.
hmm
So how did you know that you wanted to do destination?
So both of us have very large families. And there was no way that we could have a wedding in Michigan and not have at least 200 guests, 200 to 250. And
At
that probably,
least.
yeah, and that probably would have still been hard because, like, when you factor in plus ones, we could have easily gone up to 300. And yeah, like his mom has 7 sisters. So
Okay.
just his immediate family alone. We're not even talking about cousins
Aunts,
and
uncles,
kids.
cousins, forget
Exactly.
friends,
Exactly.
co-worker, right?
Everybody a plus one, it just adds up. And my dad, his mom's side of the family is large, and so is his dad's. So
Wow.
it would have just been a lot. And I was really like I wanted to be a carefree bride. I didn't want to stress about who we had to invite and all of that. And we both love to travel anyway. So we're just like, why don't we do a destination wedding? We knew the most important people that needed to be there would be there.
Right.
And as far as friends, like we knew like our friends love us. If they really want to be there, they'll find a way.
Right.
So yeah, that's how we decided to just go to Cancun and do it.
So from the jump, it was destination is what it's going to be.
Yep.
Had you seen any before or been to any?
I hadn't. No, I hadn't seen any destination weddings, had never been to one. I know we did see somebody like taking pictures after their wedding when we traveled to the Dominican Republic in
Right.
2014, and I was like, "Oh, it's so nice." And I maybe that's when it started in my head, like,
The
"Oh,
little, like,
like it would be nice to get married in a tropical location with your family and friends." So that's probably where it started after I saw them taking pictures and stuff like on the resort after their wedding.
Okay. And because your families were so big, did you guys get pushback at all?
We did.
Yeah.
Um, even like his dad and stepmom were kind of like, "Oh, well, you're leaving people out and everybody can't come." And the thing is, we didn't want everybody to
Yeah,
come.
like you can't say that's the point.
Right, like that's kind of the point of this. Like everybody doesn't need to be there. We're not even close to most of these people in the family, so it's like, why do you feel the need to be there? You can still be happy for us and celebrate us and our marriage. You don't have to be there. Like
Yeah.
it's okay. Like we're still getting married. That's the point of this. So you
Right.
can still be happy for us.
You could, yeah.
And the thing is, we gave people 2 years. So it's like if you really wanted to be there, you would have to get there.
So did
Like,
you invite everybody
yeah,
anyway?
it was an open invitation.
Like how many?
So the thing is, we sent out save the dates to maybe like 100 people. Like I didn't go as far as to like invite distant family, but if they asked about it, I definitely gave them the information.
Right. If you want to come,
And
hey.
yeah, I made it known. My dad told all his family. My mom told like it's open invitation. If you want to come, here's the information.
Okay.
But as far as sending out actual save the dates to people, we only ordered 100 because it's like that stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
And why am I sending it to you and I know you're not gonna come anyway?
Right. Yeah.
So Yeah, we sent save the dates to about 100 people, and then as far as the formal invitations, we only sent formal invites to people who actually booked. Because
Ah, so the save
I
the date, did that have information for them, or like how did that work? You sent the save the date because it's
we
funny.
sent,
I just did the little Ask a Desti live thing that I did. I was talking
mhm,
about like saving money by avoiding save the dates and
mhm,
just doing invitations. But for you, it sounds like
mhm.
your save the date kind of was the first invitation, and then you rolled it
It
that
was.
way. So you sent the save the date, and then what?
We sent the save the dates with, it was like a refrigerator magnet,
Mm-hmm.
and that just gave the date, the location, and it said formal invitation to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But we mailed it with the information for our travel agent.
Ooh, so you had a little
Because at
insert
that
in there that said,
point, we
"Hey."
yeah, we knew the resort, we knew like the date at that time, so we just sent the information for the travel agent, and it was like, do what you want with it. Like,
Right,
if you want to come, you can go right ahead and call the travel agent, set up your travel dates, and you can put down your deposit now.
right.
And by the time it actually got closer to the date, a lot of people had already put down a deposit, so we just went off of that list to see how many formal invitations we needed.
Ooh, I like that. You're putting it out there, going, "Hey,
Hmm.
if you want to come, you come." That's not a. I mean, it's an invitation, but it's not like formal. That's why you said formal invitation to follow. And
Hmm.
then if you book by what did like was there an actual
So
deadline or
we
anything? I'm
we didn't
curious
even
about
give
this.
a
I'm all
cutoff
in this.
date. Yeah, we didn't give a cutoff date. It, like, actually, people booked. Some people booked last minute,
Hmm.
which was very frustrating. Like, as far as like favors and stuff went,
Right.
because it's like
You
most
had
of that
to
stuff,
add some more already. Yeah.
right? And most of that stuff we bought in bulk. So it's like, I'm not gonna go buy another box of Advil or whatever it was just for two extra people. Like, I'll just go to the dollar store and get you the
Get
little
some
two
more.
Advil, yeah, stuff like that. But we had maybe I think we had 5 people book last minute. But for the most part, and we had 36 people in total,
Mm.
including us.
Okay.
So for the most part, we had a good number to go off of by the time we actually ordered the formal invitations.
Huh. And how long did you wait to push those out?
We see, I actually cannot remember. I'm gonna look at my,
Or a roundabout.
let's see. Okay, so it looks like I ordered a sample invitation in May.
Okay.
So I want to say I sent out formal invitations, maybe June or July.
July.
Because it was like at that point I kind of knew who was coming and who wasn't.
Right.
So I didn't need to send them out super early because it's like these people were already booked. They were coming.
Exactly.
Whether
Yeah.
we sent out a formal invitation or not, they were coming.
Right.
So I think the formal invite
That's
was
good.
more
A couple of
so,
months ahead.
yeah, it was more so a keepsake for me. I wanted people to have something to keep, and they were really cute. It was a passport invite. So yeah, I was like obsessed with them. So yeah, and people like are still raving about those. So
Yeah.
yeah, more so of a keepsake for me because we had a website, so they could get
That
all
was
the
my next
information.
question. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they didn't necessarily need a formal invite, but I wanted to have them because they were just so cute. So
Yeah, you wanted it, so you got it. I was
yeah.
gonna ask that. I'm still curious and understanding all of that. But again, like I knew nothing about weddings anyway. So when it comes to, because I know people do the save the date, and then they'll do the invitation, and then they do like the wedding announcement, and then they do like the thank you cards or something or whatever. There's levels to it all, and then there's different timing with this. So you really provided some clarity just now for me. So thank you for that one. Who'd you do your wedding website with?
So here's the thing, and this is why I said I wish I had found your blog earlier because we started off creating a website through Squarespace.
Mm-hmm.
And we created the website there and we paid for it. I think it was like maybe $15 a month, maybe. And then when I found your blog, I found out
Happy
about
couple.
Happy Couple
Yeah.
and fell in love with it. And I love the fact that it came with an app. So we canceled the Squarespace and then
Did you?
yes, and then we made it over on Happy Couple.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
and
Yeah.
that's the website that actually went on our formal invitations.
Okay. And did people download it and use it?
Yeah, people used it. People RSVP'd on it. They told us whether or not they were coming to the rehearsal dinner. Like they used it for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah, I loved it. I love Happy Couple. I'm
Yeah.
actually my long laundry list of things to do is to do like a little tutorial on that. The one thing I will say with Happy Couple, they went through. I don't know how it was for you, but they ended up like doing a complete restructure and they changed the whole design of the back end right
Hmm.
around the time that we were getting married. So I was used to everything, and then they shut it down for like a week, and then it came back brand new. I'm like, really? Like,
Oh
okay,
wow.
thanks. I get to learn it all over again. But it is better. I will say it's better. So by the time
Well,
you
that's
had it,
good.
it's probably the good one that you have at this
Yeah, it
point.
was true.
So,
Point.
yeah, okay. So the guest, did you have a travel agent?
Yes, we had
Oh yeah, you
previously.
gave them the information to the travel agent, so you have a travel agent.
Yeah. Yeah, we had previously traveled with her before in 2014 when we went to the Dominican Republic and we really liked her. So we just called her up and used her again and she handled everything for everybody, made it easy for me. Like, don't call me, call the travel agent because
Yes.
I can't help you. So yeah, she was definitely a big help.
So when it came to the guests, when people did push back, like, did anyone talk to you about it? Like, did you have any? Probably, I know you know the show enough, but it's kind of like a lot of us end up getting the must be nice, or you really doing that, or did you get that at all, or was everybody pretty much kind of like what was the response that you got for the most part?
Um, For the most part, I mean, I feel like we didn't get a lot of it to our face. I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
people said it
to
behind our back,
right.
but we didn't really get too much of it to our face. Like, even with his parents, like his dad and stepmom, I think they didn't say it when I was around. They just said it to him.
Mm,
And I know my grandmother, she was like, she gave a lot of pushback. She was really skeptical about any of us traveling to Mexico because it's like that's when all that news was coming out about
yeah, right.
drug wars and all the people dying going to Mexico and stuff like that. So I just kind of had to ignore it. And for me, because I think both of us from the beginning were like, we don't care if anybody comes. If it's just us and our daughter,
Yeah,
we're going to get married in Mexico. So it's like we really did not care. I mean, I knew my parents would be there for sure and my brother, but it's like other than that, it was like if you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. At the end of the day, we're still going to get married.
right.
And we kind of thought about having a reception when we came back, but then after going through the planning and I was stressed out with that, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm throwing anything out.
Yes,
Like I'm
I'm done. Like tap
yeah,
out. Woo.
yeah, I'm done. Like if someone
Yeah,
wants to plan it and pay for it, by all means, we'll show up, but
yeah,
I'm not doing it.
yeah. I can completely relate to that one. We were the same way. We were considering it and thinking about it, and a few people, family members are throwing it out there, and it's like one us doing it. No, that's another wedding, and the
Yeah,
whole
it is.
point was for us to do it the way we wanted to do it, and
So
we
all
had a
this.
budget for it, and an
Yeah.
additional party is a whole other thing. But if you want to do it, great. If you don't, for real, we're good. We're married. We've done
Exactly.
our part. We did our part. Like we're happy.
Yeah, yeah. But I think it definitely helped that we had our mind made up. Like, it doesn't matter who's there,
Yeah.
we're gonna get married. So that helped. I mean, if I feel like for a bride, if you're on the fence about it, those people giving you pushback may get to you a little bit,
Yeah.
but because we had our minds made up, it was just like we just let it roll off our shoulders. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that was one of my. I don't have many blog posts up at the moment, but one of the ones was like, you just have to really know that this is what you're doing. Like, before you decide anything else, you need to know and be comfortable and know why you're doing this and keep your eye on that. You have to. Because
Yeah.
you're right. It's just like with anything. If you're not secure if you're not secure, anybody can make you insecure about something and start and ruin the whole experience for you. So
Yeah.
yeah, girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So did your grandmother come?
No, she did not.
Is she okay with
Uh,
that?
was she okay with it?
Do you still hear stuff about it? I hear stuff about it, so I'm just wondering.
No.
Okay.
I don't think we heard anything else about it once we got back.
Okay.
But I just didn't. my grandmother is one of those people that is just like you kind of have to ignore. Like you have to let it go in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
'Cause,
It's like, okay. Love you.
yeah. So yeah, it's like I love you, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations. Don't
Yeah,
you mean? Like,
exactly.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
But your parents were on board. Did all parents come?
So my mom and dad came, his mom and stepdad came, his
Okay.
dad and stepmom did not.
Okay. And how was he okay with that, or was that a thing?
His sisters didn't come either. He was fine. He knew I think he knew from the beginning that they weren't coming. Like, of course they, once they accepted the fact that we were really getting married in Mexico, of course they're like, "Oh, we're going to have so much fun and, of course we're going to be there." But it's like in the back of his mind, he always knew that they
Knew it's
weren't.
a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was fine. I think the fact that his mom made it there, like he was really happy with that. So it's like anybody else in the immediate family, like he was fine with them not being there as long as his mom was there.
Okay. Cool. Did you guys have a bridal party?
We did. If I could go back and do it again, I probably would not have.
Okay.
I feel like it added more stress. And I just I like the route that you took with the whole Bridefriends.
Mm-hmm.
You're important to me on this day, and I know you're my friend, so you're going to help me out anyway.
Right.
But I don't want you to actually have a title, because I feel like when you put a title on it, you expect things from people.
Exactly. Expectations are immediate. Yeah.
Exactly. When they don't live up to those expectations, it kind of it's a disappointment.
Yeah.
Even if you tell yourself, I'm not going to expect anything, like it's still a disappointment, because that's what I try to tell myself. And yeah. So if I could go back, I would not have done it. And I would have just told people, like, we're not going to have anybody stand up with us. We want you to be there. So if you can come, that's great. If you cannot come, no hard feelings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have done it that way. And honestly, that was the route that I was leaning toward. But he wanted to have his friends.
Yeah.
And it was more important to him to have a bridal party. So I was like, okay. I already knew in my mind who I would ask if we had a bridal party.
Right.
So it was fine. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want, we can definitely have people stand up with us. No problem.
Yeah. I will say that I did the Bridefriends route. So I had the right idea. But you've read the blog, so you know. There were still expectations that I had. So I wish that I'm glad that I didn't completely, relinquish a real title and real responsibilities on to certain people, because then it would have just been that much more hurtful and so much more to clean up. So I am happy that I did do the Bridefriends thing, but I just wanted to put my little disclaimer out there and go, it was a great idea. I would absolutely do it the exact same way again. The only difference is I would still remember who those people are. Like, the thing is, you know the people. You know your friends. You know your family. And when we're happy and we're having our moment and we're, like, all about us, that doesn't mean that they're going to suddenly turn into different people. Not for the better necessarily. Like, they're going to be who they're going to be for the most part. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of one of those things where you're like, I can't believe this is really happening, or you're being this way. And you think about it, it's like, yeah, you're always that way, actually. So
yeah.
Why did I think that I was any different necessarily or whatever? So I think, but yeah, how many bridesmaids did you do bridesmaids and all that good stuff?
Yeah. So I should have followed my first mind with this whole thing. I was going to do a classless wedding party, and just like everybody was going to be a bridesmaid. There wasn't going to be a maid of honor, matron of honor. Just everybody's a bridesmaid.
I like that, classless.
But I ended up, because I didn't want any responsibility to fall on just one person. I wanted them to all, if there was any responsibility, I wanted them all to share it equally. Okay. I didn't want to put too much pressure on one person. But I ended up changing my mind. I did make my two best friends, the ones that I actually do my podcast with, I made them the maids of honor. And we had 6 total. 12 total. 6
on
brides.
each side, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And is Moon Palace adult only?
No,
it can't be. You brought your daughter with you, so.
Yeah.
Was your wedding Was it adults or kids, or what was the breakdown with
It
that?
was only so it was only my daughter, my godson, because we wanted him in the
In the
wedding.
wedding?
So they did bring him, and there was a one other, not kid. I mean, he's like a preteen. He was 11. Yeah,
Okay.
so those were the only three kids there.
Was that on purpose? Like, were people allowed to bring their kids, or did it
No,
just happen that way?
people could have brought their kids, and the wedding really was mostly our friends, and we don't have a lot of friends with kids.
Okay. So it just worked out that
So
way.
yeah, it just worked out that way. Like the not adults because we're not kids, but like the older
The
people,
old.
the older people who did come like from our family, they have like adult kids. So it just worked out that way because we don't have a lot of friends with kids.
Cool. Yeah. Did you, when you decided to have your bridesmaids and your groomsmen, because it was a destination wedding, did you guys, like, did you have any concerns or worries about, like, adding that extra cost of them getting their dress, shoes, tux, or suits, and all that kind of stuff? Was there...
Yes. And I still kind of have regrets about that. Like, I wish I had found cheaper dresses for them. Because we just ended up, and I don't even know how we ended up at David's Bridal because I really don't even like David's Bridal. But that's just where we started.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked the dresses and the color palette that we came up with. And the dress was like, I think, $179. But I think David's Bridal usually does like a $20 off thing. So they pay like 59 plus tax.
Mm-hmm.
And even still, I just feel like I wish there wasn't any extra cost to them, but to just show up to the wedding. Like if I could have covered the cost of their dresses, I would have, because there was still issues with people like last minute. Like,
are you gonna make it?
Or one of my friends was like, you know what? Like I have to tell you now, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. And this was like maybe, I think their payment deadline with the travel agent was like July 25th. And this was like maybe 2 weeks before that payment deadline, or maybe like the beginning of July.
Yeah.
So it's just like, at that point, I'm just like, you know, why did I give them all these extras that they had to pay for? And but the thing is, I really only asked for them to get a dress.
Everything else, shoes, makeup, hair.
I didn't care what jewelry they wore. I didn't care what shoes they wore. They could have went barefoot. I didn't care. It was a long dress. Nobody's gonna see your feet. Their hair, they could wear it however they wanted. The only extra thing that I did ask them to pay for was makeup, and that was because of the pictures. Mm-hmm. But one of the bridesmaids is an MUA, so she was able to do the makeup for us. So I think they only paid $25 or $35.
Oh wow, yeah.
Makeup, yeah. So outside of the dress and the makeup, they didn't have any extra expenses that I asked for.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you did a really great job with that. But that's one of the things. Like, if you're going to have bridesmaids, there's going to be some, like you said, some sort of expectation or something that's thrown out there associated with that. So, yeah. I never even thought about the idea. I can't remember. It was somebody. I'm re-listening to all of the podcast episodes right now since I'm doing the relaunch. And so, exactly, they're all blurring at the moment. But somebody ended up saying, like, basically going, these are the colors. So send me some things and I'll tell you if it works or not. And that might be something. But I mean, $200 to be a bridesmaid. I mean, whatever. Hey, everybody, I'm not in nobody's pocket, so never mind. Ignore me right now. Never mind. It all goes somewhere. So, okay. So, speaking of beauty, what did you do?
For me,
hair, makeup.
With my computer, because now it's like not showing me anymore. Oh, there it is.
Are you back?
Okay, so with beauty, I was going to get a sew-in with my hair. I knew that, but I actually I went to somebody new, and she actually suggested a wig instead. Okay. So she made me a wig for the wedding, and I actually liked it. And I knew that I was going to have somebody in the salon there just curl it for me. And
was it a full unit? Any leave out at all, or was it total?
It was no leave out at all.
Huh.
Yeah. So it was a full lace unit with the lace closure. It was just like this one, but it was curly hair, and I knew I wanted it straightened and like curled with a curling iron for the wedding.
Okay.
So I knew somebody at the salon could do that easily. So, but I didn't know how I wanted the hair because my dress has so much detail in the front and the back that I knew because I'm used to wearing my hair down, but I knew if I kept it down, I would kind of regret it because it's like I want to see the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had somebody in the salon just curl it, and she pinned it up with my hair piece, and that was that. And I was able to use resort credits for it, so I think I only paid like $20, I think, for her to curl it.
Ooh. So, okay. Oh, yeah. So you use resort credits for that. That's kind of cool. I never even considered that because you get a spa, you get all types of credits for things.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming, did you get a block of rooms ahead of time and your people started to kind of buy them, or?
Did not. We didn't get a block of rooms, which I'm kind of glad we didn't because people, so I would suggest not getting room blocks. I mean, I guess it depends on how big your resort is.
Right.
Because our resort was huge. There was like no way it was going to sell out.
Okay.
So we didn't get it. So whether or not they were coming. So it's like, I kind of don't want to put my money down and bank on the fact that you're going to come. So, and I think because we sent out the travel agent's information so early that we didn't really feel the need to block the rooms off for people.
Okay.
Out. Everybody got a room. Everybody stayed in, because the resort was broken up into 3 sections.
Okay.
Everybody was staying in the same section except for one couple, and that's because they didn't book through the travel agent.
Well.
Yeah. So.
They found a cheaper rate or whatever and just decided to do their own thing or something.
Yeah, I think because it was really last minute. Like, they booked within 2 weeks of us leaving.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. They just missed out on that.
Yeah. Yeah, but it worked out.
Okay, so yeah, that's cool. So back to the beauty. It made me thinking about it with the resort credits. So I guess it worked out nicely with them because I was worried about Mexico in general, but I also have always either a ton of leave out or my own hair. So if they're just going to curl it and, pin it, that makes it so much easier. Were you nervous at all? Like, had you worn a wig before?
No, I hadn't, and I was
scared.
But I had seen pictures of her work before where it was a wig, and I'm just like, there's no way that's a wig. And so
look at you right now. Did you say you have on one right now? Mm-hmm. Seriously? That's not leave out up there.
Nope. This isn't my hair at all. Like, I'll put it back.
You're so crazy. I had no idea. I'm funny. You look like, it looks just like, that's so funny. Okay, so yeah, you knew who you were. You knew what you were doing, so.
Yeah, I knew she was really good at it. And she said, like, I've always had fine hair. And she was like, well, this will be better for your hair. It's less tension on your hair. So I was like, fine.
Okay, right.
Like, go right ahead. So I kind of knew it would turn out okay. I just knew it might be something that I would have to get used to because I wasn't used to wearing a wig.
Right.
And that's exactly what it was. Like, it turned out fine. Most people didn't even know I had on a wig unless I told them.
Right.
So, yeah, it worked out. And I just had a friend, I watched it the night before the wedding, and in the morning I just had one of my bridesmaids blow dry it straight, and then went to the salon and she curled it, pinned it, put in my hairpiece, and that was that. And I had my bridesmaid who did all the other bridesmaids' makeup. She did my makeup as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she did 5 people, including herself. I guess that would be 6 people.
So the thing is, we should have started earlier and I felt like we should have started earlier, but of course I was just like a go with the flow person at that point.
You said you wanted to be a carefree bride, so
I was just happy everybody made it to the resort.
Girl, yes.
At that point, I was just like, okay, girl, if you think that's the time we should start, that's the time we're gonna start.
So what time did you guys start?
My makeup is gonna get done.
Right.
We started I wanted to start at like 11.
And what time was the wedding?
The wedding was at 6.
Okay.
By the time she actually got to the room and got everything set up, we started closer to noon. Exactly. So she was able to do everybody's makeup but hers.
Oh.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad, but she was like, "No, it's totally fine. Like, you wanted me to do everybody's makeup. I got it done. It's just I'll be fine. I don't need makeup on my face."
Oh.
Yeah, so it kind of sucked, but yeah, and we were running late. Like it was so bad. Like they were threatening to cancel the wedding.
What time did you guys end up getting there?
I don't even know. I never even looked at my phone to see what time we ended up getting there. But the thing is, I mean, it was not our fault. Like, okay,
Right. Okay.
makeup,
Uh-huh.
yes, because she was doing makeup still as we were walking out of the door. But when I reached out to the resort to make my hair appointment, the like so you get like a Miami wedding coordinator, I guess, when you book with the resort. They give you a wedding coordinator
That's
that's
located in Miami.
right. And
Okay.
then when you get closer to the wedding, like maybe depends on the resort, like 30 to 60 days out, that's when you get your on-site coordinator. So I got the information for the salon from one of the coordinators. I can't remember if it was Miami or the one that was on site. And I emailed them. I told them what day the wedding was, what time the wedding was. They gave me an appointment at 3:30. And on there, it said that it would take approximately 90 minutes to get my hair done.
So, what they think you're gonna leave there straight to the
I,
wedding, or
I mean, I have no idea. And
you gonna
I
have? Are
thought,
you supposed to have your dress on while you're sitting getting your hair done, or?
exactly.
Okay.
And I thought, it seems like we're going to be cutting it close, but you guys do weddings
You
every
do
day
this,
of the
so
year. So
okay, right.
obviously, you know what you're talking about. That was not the case. I was literally running back to my room to get dressed. Mind you, I had on a full face of makeup.
Sweating your makeup off.
Exactly. Running back to my room, trying to get my dress on. I didn't get back to my room until like after 5. We had to leave out at 5:30. The
Okay.
photographer was already there taking pictures at that point. So I don't even have like a bunch of pictures of
Of
me getting
you
because I
because
wasn't
you weren't
there.
even there.
Yeah.
They should have came to the salon.
Yeah, if we had not, like, if I could go back, that is one thing that I definitely would have changed. I would have changed the time of that appointment
You would have
because
pushed back a little bit more when they told you that time.
back on that appointment time because it like and when I got to the room, the photographer had to keep telling me to smile because I was so stressed out and pissed at that
Oh,
point that I like there's a picture of me that he got and it's like you could see it all
all
in my
over her
face. I
face.
was pissed off. And they were like the wedding coordinator was there at the chapel where we got married and they were telling like my husband and my mom like they were telling everybody like y'all call them and tell them they need to get here. If they're not here in 15 minutes we have to cancel the wedding,
That doesn't
which
even make sense. It's not like it's gonna be a wedding after yours. So what are y'all stressing about?
like 6 o'clock was the latest wedding time,
Yeah.
so
So what are we?
if anything it's just going to cut into my reception time, which is
Exactly.
I'm
That's
going to have
what.
to deal with. So I didn't understand what was the big deal because we were the last wedding of the day,
Right. Yeah.
but we made it in one piece and the wedding happened.
Yeah, you
Thank God.
did.
But, yeah, it was, whew, it was stressful.
So why? Where did you? What made you choose? I guess yeah. This is I'm rolling with this. Funny. I realize I don't know the answer to some things. So what made you choose Mexico from the jump?
We wanted to do a destination we had never been to before.
Okay.
We had been to the Bahamas, we had been to Jamaica, we had been to the Dominican Republic, and we knew the next trip, like even before we got engaged, we knew the next trip we went on, we wanted to go to Mexico.
So you went to Mexico and you had never even been. You had your wedding and you had never been to Mexico.
Yep, we had never been to any part of Mexico, and we're like, oh, let's just do it. And at first I thought Cabo, but Cabo would have been more expensive.
And it's the complete, yeah, everything about it would have been more expensive.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
travel,
Like,
the,
oh, and I kind of didn't want to do Cancun at first because I'm like, isn't Cancun like spring breaky type?
right.
Didn't want it to be like party central, but yeah, it turned out fine. Like everything was fine. We loved the resort, and yeah, we will go back.
So you chose Mexico, and then what made you narrow down to Moon Palace?
So our travel agent sent us a list of resorts based on what we wanted. We told her what we wanted, and she sent us a list of resorts. and the list that she sent kind of like it was kind of like pamphlet style. So it's like there was information about every resort. Here's the pros. And I like wrote out a list of pros and cons
Oh,
about
wow.
every resort, and then that's how we narrowed it down.
When you say list of things that you want, what sorts of things were you looking for?
Like we wanted multiple restaurants because we knew we were going to be there for a week. And
Right.
when we went to the Dominican Republic, there were not a lot of restaurants, so we ate a lot of the same food.
Mm.
So we knew we wanted like a lot of restaurants to eat at, like a lot of eating options.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted kid friendly, something for kids to do, which they were really good about. Like they had a little kids club and everything, which my daughter never even made it to. But
Really? She was with family or just with
she,
random people?
yeah, she
More
was
friends.
with my parents most of the time. Thank God for them because we actually felt like we had a vacation. Because yeah, they were a godsend on this trip. But what else? We wanted like a nightlife, a resort that had good nightlife,
Like
like
an
had
actual lounge and stuff.
yep. And we wanted a resort that had really, really beautiful weddings.
Mm.
And Moon Palace does really beautiful weddings. And I looked on, in addition to the information she gave us, I looked on TripAdvisor for like reviews and stuff.
Love
And they
TripAdvisor.
had like a really, really, really high percentage of like 5 out of 5 stars. People were raving about it. So I was like, that seems like, a good choice. Like out of 100,000 reviews, they have 90,000 positive, and they only have a few thousand that are not good. So
Right.
yeah, it just seems like a good pick. The only thing that I will say about Moon Palace is that their beach is not a swimmable beach.
Ah.
But I knew
Swimmable
that
because it's too rough or it's rocky or it's gone or what type of
it's like
non-swimmable
it's not the clear blue water
water?
that
Mm-hmm.
you would see in like the hotel zone in Cancun.
Right.
So it's like a little further away from the hotel zone. So the water is like darker and it has a lot of seaweed and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I knew that I am not really, I'm not an ocean person.
Okay.
They still had like the beach chairs and the cabanas and stuff like that, which is what I use on the beach. Like I lay out on the beach,
Mm-hmm.
which we were still able to do that. But I'm more of a find me at the swim up pool bar kind of girl. So
Okay.
we had multiple pools, multiple swim up bars. So I was like, that's fine with me. We're
Okay.
going to be cool anyway. So it worked for us.
Okay. Were all the vendors that you used from the resort, did you pull anybody from outside of it or?
The photographer.
Okay.
We went with Moments That Matter photography.
Okay.
And we found them. I think the prices for the on-site photographer were just like outlandish, and I didn't want to pay it. And even with paying the vendor fee for the outside photographer, it was still cheaper.
Was it like 100 or?
It was $800.
The outside vendor fee was 800?
It's $800, and I think I'm still in a lot of groups on Facebook for like Cancun brides and stuff like that. I think they've actually gone up since then, and I believe it's 1,000 now.
To
for
bring
out-
it, that, and see, that's so
And
crazy.
That's per vendor. So if I had hired somebody
So they're
else,
just trying to
I-
strong arm you into using their vendors, basically, because that's crazy. So we got married in Mexico, and we got married at Sandals. No, we had our honeymoon at Sandals in Jamaica. We got married at Secrets, and we ended up having to have our photographer just not for the weddings. We didn't get married on the resort, so we thought they were going to bang us over the head just to have our photographer come for the getting ready photos, and for the day before we did like the pre-wedding photo session out on the beach. And we thought they were going to do it was real dirty because we weren't even having our wedding there.
right?
And the traditional fee was just $100, or was it $2? It's either 1 or 2.
It wasn't.
No, and they ended up not charging it. They ended up not charging us. They were really great. They did not charge us anything because it wasn't long. You know what I mean? So, but I could not. The only reason for that is just to make you go, never mind, I'm just going to use your photographer. And that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm glad I didn't because their photographers, they're on site, they don't get good reviews.
Right.
And they don't even give you like all of the pictures. Like we got all of the pictures back. Like every picture they took, we got it back. So
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm glad we went with
Ooh.
it.
Yeah. 800.
Yeah, but the good thing about the photographer is they took $800 off of their total cost
Oh,
to
that was nice to
yeah to
offset that.
offset the vendor fee. Yeah,
Go ahead, moments that matter.
yeah,
That's really really great. That's nice.
yeah.
And did you just Google search and find moments
I
that matter?
did. I did a Google search and I used like the public forums on like weddingbee.com,
Mm-hmm.
destinationweddings.com, that type of stuff. I searched like the forums
Right,
for
for their
destination
information.
weddings, and yeah, and that's where I found them, and they had good reviews. So yeah.
Cool. All right. So do you have any tips on anything? No. Like tips on, I'd say, just what do you say to the bride who has people pushing back and going, "Hey, you don't need to be doing this."
Uh, at the end of the day, you have to remember that it's your wedding. You are not marrying anybody in your family. You're not marrying anybody in his family. You're marrying him. He is marrying you. So if you two have decided that you want to have a destination wedding and this is what you want, anybody that loves you and has your best interest at heart, they're not going to push back on that because it's your day and not theirs. If they want to have a wedding at home, tell them to get married and have one. But it's your wedding
Say
at
it.
the end of the day. So yeah, if this is what you want, if this is what you imagine, like a beautiful beach wedding, like you deserve to have it. Because at the end of the day, all the people that are giving you pushback are probably not helping you pay for the wedding.
Right.
So if it's not their money, like they have no say. So you're not going to regret it when you get those photos back and you see that beautiful beach backdrop. Like you're not
Or
gonna
wherever
regret it.
you are at that matter. You've got
Yeah,
mountain wedding,
wherever you are. If
wherever.
you want to
Right.
get married in the mountains, like if that's what you want, you're not going to regret that decision. But if you let naysayers get into your head and you do something just to appease them, that is something that you might regret in the long run.
Yay.
So, yeah.
It's Bright Friend 101 right there. That's Don't miss part 2. 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 Coming next.